All right, thanks so much, Raven. 6:01, and although it's the 6 o'clock hour, we're not seeing any heavy pickups as far as the volume goes on your roadway. No slowdowns, no crashes. That's all good news. This is I-10 at the Claiborne flyover, and as you can see, volume still very light, and that matches exactly what we're seeing on the map. Averaging 35 miles an hour, still has all green. I can expect to see some congestion, some slowdowns a little bit later this morning, but for right now, looking fantastic. Looking at the NO Metro, this is I-10 at Williams, I-610 at Canal Boulevard. Again, volume still very, very light. That will start to pick up over the next hour or so. You still have the green light across the metro area. But going on over to the West Bank, this is that camera showing me the approach to the Crescent City connection. As you can see on the map, elevated West Bank Expressway has the green light as folks approach the CCC. No congestion there. Your ferries, they are in service now. They start rolling at 6 a.m. every day. And look at the West Bank drive times. Drive times still have the green light for all of my West Bank commuters that have to take that expressway this morning. Now, if something does develop, I do want to show you this. This is the West Bank Expressway. You see that layer of fog, it looks like, hanging over, but it's not on the roadway. So that's some good news for all the commuters. If something does happen, I'll push it to your phone through the WDSU News app.
Brandi, thank you.
619. It's not chilly right now. Looking at I-10 at the Twin Span, and as you can see, are looking towards the South Shore. As you can see, things are starting to heat up. We're starting to see some more cars out there on the roadway, but I have no problem spots, no congestion, no delays, no crashes. That's all really good news. Sticking with the North Shore, this is I-12 at I-55 interchange, I-12 west of Highway 11. Until the sun comes up, I tell y'all every day, the cameras are in night vision, so we don't have a super clear view, but as long as I'm seeing those headlights go through, there's no problem spots. Hammond to Slidell across 12 and on US 190, y'all all have the green lights. Great time to hit the road at 6:19 or 6:20 on the dot. Looking at the high-rise bridge right now, and now it's telling me that at the top of the bridge is averaging 45 miles an hour. I don't know if y'all can see that yellow spot of congestion that's starting to build on I-10 westbound. As is typical, this will be one of those first spots where we start to see some slowdowns coming out of New Orleans East, and they are creeping up towards the top of the high-rise bridge there. Now across the rest of the NO Metro, I-10 at Williams also starting to see an increase in volume. According to my map, though, I'm not seeing any slowdowns, congestion, delays just yet. That will change. I-610 at Canal, free and clear and flowing smoothly. Looking at the drive times, everyone still has the green light to go ahead and hit the road on this Tuesday morning, but anything can happen. Looking at I-10 and Norman C. Francis, again, you're seeing that increase in volume on the roadways, but no congestion and no slowdowns. I want everyone to buckle up and drive safely as we make our way through the rest of the work week.
All right, Brandi, thank you.
I haven't seen a whole lot of fog either, but what are you seeing out there?
We're not seeing much, but we're definitely keeping our hearts and our minds on our folks in the Caribbean. New Orleans, known historically as the northernmost Caribbean city. So we know all too well the impacts of a hurricane, and we'll be keeping a close eye as sun comes up. But looking right now at I-10 and Chef Mentor before the sun comes up, as you can see on I-10 westbound, huge increase in volume. Just a whole lot of cars hitting the roadway at 6:31, as is typical. It's exactly what you should expect, and you're starting to see some of those impacts, and I'm going to show you on the map in a second. But first, I have a crash to report for you on Claiborne Avenue heading westbound near Jefferson Avenue, excuse me. And as you can see, I still see green. I'm not seeing any congestion or delays on Jefferson or on Claiborne as a result, but it is still very early. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we get that cleared out of here before we have that prime time hour of commuting. Looking at the NO Metro, though, this is I-10 at Williams facing westbound, I-10 at Norman C. Francis. Look at the huge increase of cars out there on the roadways. But on the map, you still have the green light. I have one spot where I'm starting to see some congestion or heavier volume, and that is the high-rise bridge. But as you can see, still averaging 65 miles an hour once you get over the top, but we're starting to see that increase of cars to hit I-10 westbound this morning. Drive times still look really, really good. They'll start to get bumped up over the next 30 minutes to an hour. And of course, I'll be the first to let you know before you go right here on WDSU.
Brandi, thank you.
To the cool down. So many different headlines in the weather department this morning. Not so much on the roadways, and that's some good news for all of the commuters. Taking a live look right now, this is I-10 eastbound driving towards the camera at mile marker 210 on the Binding Carey Spillway. I've got a stalled vehicle there on the far right shoulder. I can't tell if it's a crash, but I see the blinking light, so I'm going to call it a stalled vehicle. And I just want to make sure that you are aware. If you're driving in from LaPlace, be prepared to give those folks some room to work. And I told you about this crash on Claiborne Avenue heading westbound near Jefferson Avenue. Again, not seeing any congestion or delays there on Claiborne or on Jefferson, but I definitely want you to be aware as you try to give those folks some room. But looking at this is I-10 at Williams, and they're already starting to see some heavy backups. That should clear up when you get into Metairie. I-610 at Canal is starting to see an increase in volume, but no real problem spots. There is a delay, though. You want to add 6 minutes to your drive from Kenner to Metairie. This is always happening each and every morning around this time, so it's very typical. I'm sure y'all already know. Looking on up at the North Shore, this is the Causeway, Covington, Mandeville camera. This is I-12 at US 190. And as you can see, green light on I-12 and on US 190 for all of my North Shore commuters this morning. Drive times will start to get bumped up over the next 30 minutes to an hour. And of course, if something major happens that's going to impact your roadways, I'll let you know. This is our typical problem spot facing westbound I-10 at Williams. So if you're driving inbound from LaPlace, be prepared for those backups. And I do have breaking traffic news. I-55 southbound seeing a major crash. It's zoomed out so far. I'm not even able to pinpoint exactly what's happening. There's so many flashing lights and the congestion was quickly building on the map. So if you are driving from Hammond, if you're driving from Ponchatoula and you're driving towards LaPlace, I would go ahead and take the Causeway Bridge. As you can see, I still have reports of that crash on Claiborne heading westbound at Jefferson Avenue. As far as the rest of the NO Metro goes, we're beginning to see that congestion. I-10 at Williams, as you can see, heavy backups. I am getting reports of a stalled vehicle blocking a right lane further up, right past Vets. But for right now, I-610 looks good. Drive times for all of our inbound drivers around the metro area, y'all look good. But take a live look at this. This is I-55 southbound. So if you're driving in from Hammond, from Ponchatoula, this is normally the camera that I would pull up to show y'all our anglers. But as you can see, it's a very hectic problem spot this morning. It looks like the camera just froze, but I just told it to you. I-55 southbound. I would either take the low road or take the Causeway Bridge.
Wow.